Aux, Wukong was let through with Silas. Oh my god. Is it? But how early do you pick it? Like, obviously not first pick because Wukong's there.
Dude, I'm so sad actually they're banning Silas because I feel like if you're nice Velvet of it. I feel like if you're leaving Wukong open, you know that like they could have banned Shyvana. OMG take Wukong, you take Silas. I feel like on the next rotation, and Knight is obviously, I would say, the best Silas in the world. But regardless, they will. They will pass over the Wukong, take the setup for themselves. We're doing a bit more champion pool hovering. Obviously, Velvet now added to Aki's champion pool.
We get the bottom lane. All right. This is going to go on and on and on. Like, you know how you talk about top esports, like, you know, they've got a lot of mojo. I know that's kind of a Munchables thing that's spread throughout us. But I also feel like OMG is quickly becoming that team, right? There's a lot of flair, a lot of personality, a lot of spark that is similar to top esports, which is why coming into this matchup, you know, we talked about the uniqueness of these teams and it hit a nice bell. Yeah, and I mean, Senna, Tahm right now, one of the issues with picking your Tahm on that rotation means that you can kind of be matched with anything. Like, this is a lane where as long as you don't pick too passive of a lane, it's kind of difficult to punish. We've seen before PP got Photic into RNG's Ezreal Wukong. They absolutely blasted them into submission. But there's definitely things you can pair Ezreal up with. You can put him with like Yuumi, and that can be a stable lane where you scale exceptionally. But for the time being, Creme's going to take that Corki. So a lot of poke, a lot of power, but maybe not the most active lanes for now. And it looks like Knight might just go for that. I'm sorry, Hysterics, that we're seeing this again. It's okay. It's all right. You know, this time around, I feel like on the horizon is something special, right? The Shyvana not looked at. However, still there. As top esports ban away the Yuumi you were talking about. I was actually just watching an LEC content piece before we started today. And the top things to remove from the game was Yuumi. So I'm glad, once again, we're not going to see that champion here in the LPL. Now the big golden question, Aux, is Shyvana worth banning here? Especially when there's a lot of poke. And there is a lot of spacing you can create with Wukong.
Yes. What a shame. Yes. I don't think you risk it. Shanji just completely dominated on that pick. Like, just ran that. The thing is as well, like, you have the Senna. Senna's gonna struggle to kill a Shyvana. Like, you will just get jumped on by a full tank Shyvana and it will run you down. I think at least Viktor's good against it, but regardless, they're not gonna risk it. They don't want to flip it based on that, and so we will see the Shyvana banned away. A little bit unfortunate for any Shanji fans. Now, here, top esports could take Gnar in this position if they really wanted to and just leave jungle till the end. There's no pressure because obviously OMG already have their jungler. They could also leave it for a top lane counter pick. It's been a bit of a mixed bag what teams want to do. Looks like Tian's going to take the Poppy. I'm not the biggest fan of this because the problem is in this situation, there's not many dashes already on OMG. There's Wukong, there's the Valkyrie from Corki. But how often is like Corki Valkyrieing in range of you? It's not super common. You can't interrupt the package, and then that's about it. Like, Poppy's not that good against Ezreal, but still, we can see what I can do. Either way, OMG gonna pick up the Gangplank in the top lane, and then we see what they bring out support. A lot of options here. I feel like they could just go for like an enchanter. Like, you have the dive from the Wukong, and then you can look to kind of scale up in that regard.
A lot of ability in that regard. I'm incredibly excited for the siege. As Sraphine comes through, Aux, we'll talk about her lore again because I think I don't know if it was you or Dagger who told me that she killed all of Skarner's people in order to be a singer. Sraphine, a horrible person.
Respectable.
Yeah, respectable is one word. You know,
obviously not. Yeah, it's the old
committed
law.
Genocide.
It got retconned. It got retconned. Right, it all got retconned because obviously it wasn't too positive. Anyway,
yeah, that's one word for it.
We get the Sejuani. So this is kind of similar to that game one where we had the double tank top jungle. We do have Viktor in the mid lane rather than the Orianna, and we have the Senna coming in. But the problem is, like, you have a lot of beefy frontliners, but you still once again have two carries. And one of the concerns in that game one from top esports was if these carries get challenged. For example, if Viktor gets poked out by Corki, if JackeyLove gets caught by like Sraphine or a Gangplank barrel, you're really going to struggle. Like, you lose a lot of your damage as a result. So OMG, you know, they have a bot lane, which is going to scale excellently. Ezreal often picked into Senna, and Tahm Kench not going to be too useful in that lane. Mid lane is going to lose out in terms of pressure, but you have, you know, Corki's going to come in strong later. And in the top lane, you have a GP and a Sejuani, which you're fine with. So I think OMG can be really happy with this draft. And honestly, top esports, you know, I feel like the Poppy here just has nowhere near as much value as even if it had in the first game. And in the first game, they obviously lost. So
it had a lot more value in the first game, let's be real. But you're right. What can Tian do here is going to be the biggest question. I think, especially when our drafts are looking very different with a very subtle bot here for top esports with, you know, not as many tools. I want to see how this progresses throughout the game because for OMG, options there now available, as you were saying. It does feel like sieging is going to be a lot of fun for this team. And Aux, you already set it up. The dive abilities there as well. We also have poke. Nice little pieces of... Sorry, I just haven't seen this Ezreal skin before. He has a wolf? What? That... Okay. The skin designers are getting real clutch.
Yeah.
Skin as well.
Aki, you actually have to be careful here. I guess not. Aki's got on the question mark frog hype train. He's been spamming that one a lot recently. So a bit of solidarity with Wayward. But yeah, essentially, I mean, the kind of issue here is against like Corki, Ezreal, Sraphine, you kind of need to engage, right? Because they are just going to sit back and poke you into oblivion. And as much as you have these tanky frontliners, it's not necessarily going to be enough. And you don't have the best engage. Sejuani is probably your best form of engage, but it's very easy for either of them to for Ezreal or Corki to just like Valkyrie or Arcane Shift out of the Glacial Prison, if it even connects, right? It's not obviously, you've seen plenty of times it failed to connect. So I think this is hard for top esports, especially because like their bot lane is not the most aggressive early, like in terms of the champions pick. They are going to try and find a window here, but you're just kind of harassing, and they obviously have a decent amount of sustain. So we'll see how it pans out. Ultimately, Tian has shown that he can find momentum in the early game, and yeah, this is the Tian special. Let's just evade level 2. Why not?
Why not? I mean, against Aki, though, remember, he's going to be able to sustain a lot of the AD damages. Against Grop, there's no smite there. The shove against the wall doesn't work. Remember that Tian smite diff is going to come through here. Nothing that Aki can really do. As he flares up. Yep, okay. No smite even needed. Just does it in front of his face without the smite. And Tian is going to go back and start taking the wolves.
Yeah, I mean, this is the sort of thing. This is actually what you really need to do in a game like this, where just playing out standard, playing slow, probably is going to go favorably. He finds an advantage in the jungle, sets behind the Wukong, and then creates space for him to hopefully be able to contest around these neutrals. One thing to mention is OMG, as I always say, oh, he left the little wolf. That's really cheeky.
It is. Creme is just in a lot of trouble. I mean, they knew he was there. He flashes away. Knight wants to match it, but he doesn't need to. That's a free summoner auction. I feel like that's a vital mistake.
He's stealing more. he can't keep getting away with this.
But he will. I mean, Tian still has that smite. He hasn't used it. Creme's coming in, but Knight's stuck around in the mid lane. So as Tian's here, smite goes down. He picks it up, trying to run out for his life now. He might have to burn his own flash. He can indeed, and you're right. He doesn't have to burn the summoner. Back to his own jungle. There's plenty up there.
Okay, the downside to this, though, is you're now so low that maybe Aki can actually venture into your own jungle. We'll see. I doubt, though, just with the fact that Creme is so low, they're going to try and get him a reset. Skull's going to be picked up on the top side from Tian. And then he still has so much of his jungle left to clear. Yeah. And bear in mind, look at the mini-map. See how there's still the icon for wolves and raptors? And Tian left a couple of raptors up. Obviously, Aki knows about that. He's going to go clear them now. But he doesn't know that there's like still a baby wolf left. All on its lonesome. Oh, this is... So like, as much as Tian obviously has a lead now, the compounding effect. Your raptors is going to be a late spawn. Your wolves isn't going to respawn because it's not cleared yet. So quite devastating. And now the plan for Aki should be, can I invade myself? Can I steal away camps on his blue side? The problem is, I feel like you can already see top esports bot lane posturing, ready to move at a moment's notice. So Aki's just going to have to go to his Krugs. And yeah, sad early game for the Wukong.
Really is. I mean, look, as he continues to path down, now with no invade, with Krugs up available for him in the top side too, Tian is already pretty far ahead in CS here. Aki will be getting towards that point shortly, but you're right, Aux, there's so much taken away here. And for top esports, you mentioned the bottom line ready to pivot. That's because they got so much priority in this lane. as JackeyLove, unfortunately, will miss a W here on Senna, but still will have enough to get some poke down as Tian. Oh my god, he's back. That was very quick.
You know what's the one downside here? Is that Tian would probably love to take Wolves again, but he can't because he didn't clear it the first time. but he'll just take a second grump. Why not? And then he'll walk it out. He still hasn't done his bot side jungle. I don't know if maybe he assumes Aki did it, like, or maybe he just like is leaving it for later. And now Aki finds, oh, this is such a sad moment.
Yeah. Oh god. Okay. Well, Shanji's walked in. Tian's gonna try and put him towards wall. Wayward's now here. Orange is an easy cleanse away as Tian actually getting ganked by Aki. Flashes over the wall. Shanji matches, and that's gotta feel good for OMG. Getting first blood against this very irritating Poppy.
Yeah, you'll take that. And then overstayed a little bit. Like, he hadn't backed, he hadn't spent, staying far too long. And it's a Gangplank with flash, with oranges. Like, I don't know what the game plan was there. And this kind of feels like the Tian special. So much good play early, so much planning. We kind of saw this against RNG as well. Just really like excellent play coming out. And then he just like flipped it on a Herald fight in that game and ended up.
Oh, Creme. Almost dying in the mid lane solo. I mean, Knight just did that under turret. Well done. Burns his own flash. Creme didn't have the summoner before because it was chunked out by Tian. Aux also on the bottom right of our screen. Getting a bit of action in this early game. We saw Mark and JackeyLove go for an all-in with the Abyssal Dive, and Cold had to burn the heal down on the Sraphine. So a nice little setup in the bottom lane. And once again, top Esports, despite that gank in the top side going well for OMG, is he's still here. Aki gets the smite this time. That's nice. But I was going to say, top Esports lanes are still going really well, but maybe I shouldn't because Shanji has his ulti available too.
Won't if he gets like Wayward. A parlay with grasp ready, that's just Q ult dead.
Yeah. Let's see. Wayward though levels up.
Leveled up. I think he's okay. Yeah. Close though, and the pressure definitely there. Doesn't help that he was given a kill by a certain Poppy. So we can see finally we're seeing the boss side jungle cleared out by Tian. Took a while to get over to this side, but obviously quite a bit ahead of Aki in comparison, despite that death. But really wasn't the ideal scenario to pass over.
I didn't get to see it, but look, he also cleared wolves, by the way, so it feels nice. You know, we're kind of back on track here for Aki a little bit.
I want to point something out. We get boots of swiftness from Cold. I actually really like this buy. I feel like so many people like don't think of scenarios where it'd be good to take it. Like, you have a slow from Senna, you have a slow from Tahm. Viktor gets built-in slows in his kit once he has his evolved W. Sejuani has a bunch of slows. I mean, even Poppy on a Q as well, right? So not only do you get that extra movement speed it offers, but you're actually mitigating a lot of that slow effectiveness. So I really like the value, because the way you're basically going to die on Sraphine in lane is you get hit by like a slow, by like Tongue Lash or the Sraphine Q, and then you get hard CC connects after that.
As Dragon goes down. Further on your note as well, it feels like we're getting a lot more swiftness to the game too. Like, JackeyLove will probably be opting in for that one as a center too. On the other side, maybe not as much slowing, but yeah, good point you raised here with Cold, who's almost level 6, able the same here. So we are going to get some global pressure. Remember, both AD carries will be able to do that, as Shanji also adds the extra layer, so more for OMG, as they keep trying to get the engage onto Cold and Abel, and as Mark walks on up, JackeyLove tries to poke him down as well. Aki going to be on the red buff for now, and it's worth talking about junglers here, Aux, because Tian is going back in.
Oh my god.
Where is he?
Oh no, he's going for the flank. No flash, remember.
Flank. And it's too late for Shanji. I mean, the cannon barrage comes down. It's now just about pathing here as Wayward might take too much damage to flash over. Tian uses Hex Flash against the turret. Nicely done. Wayward survives and gets the kill as well. Tian is just everywhere in this early game and gets the revenge kill for the top lane.
Yeah, knocks him back on the tower in the end, and you see Shanji waiting for the E-stun and then the ult. Oh, Aki might have found. Oh, great reactions.
The W, the steadfast presence there. Aki has Cyclone, but will not use it. Tian in the nick of time too, and Aux, it's around Herald. It's worth mentioning that Shanji will have to walk back to lane, but still, with Tian not really having too much available, maybe he has the ulti here. What do you think?
I mean, they could go for this. Like, he's posturing. It looks like Tian wants to go. He's got Hex Flash. Okay, and Wayward TP'd in mid.
Here we go. Keeper's verdict onto the jungle. In the middle of the Cyclone. Top Esports now with the Dawning Shadow coming down the rift. Shanji there too. Might have an advantage of the fight, but they need to get the Herald, and it's down. Knight picks it up. Wayward lifts it into his inventory. And that ulti from Tian is good as game one.
Oh my god, that is so frustrating for Aki. The moment you press Cyclone, you're just yeeted off the rift. And the Wayward, I actually love this decision as well. One of the rough things that can happen sometimes is that, like, you don't have your jungler pick up the Herald, and it's left with someone not ideal. Like, you know, Wayward's not always going to be there where you want to place the Herald, but because you instantly slam it mid getting 2 plates is a pretty valuable position. You give him gold to Viktor, and it means that Wayward can go back top and doesn't have to concern himself about the Herald. So I actually really like the fact that the insta threw it down there and found the window. And you see here, Shanji's trying to hold on the oranges until after the layered CC, but ultimately knocked on the tower, ignited. Just not much you can really do. And then I really hope we get a replay. Oh, we don't get a replay of that ult. That ult was fantastic, though. What a play from Tian.
But we saw that in game 1. I mean, Tian on this Poppy, so far this series has been exceptional. Like, it went to late game and OMG came around with the help of Abel on Samira. But in the early game, we're talking a lot about Tian's Poppy. And once again, we're in a similar position as we keep watching trades top. But this Poppy, not only early game has hit that crucial ult, but more importantly, has been in the face of Aki all game long. Tian's a level up, 10 CS up too. And has been invading non-stop. The mosquito in your room. It's a perfect analogy. As Ignite goes down, Shanji has to flash away. Sejuani again, Aux.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're up so soon, but able to put a lot of hit on a Shanji, and he's going to be able to clear the waves out at least. Obviously, Oranges gives him sustain, but he's just getting battered around. I feel like at this point of the game is where, you know, you can really be threatened by the Sejuani ult, and now, oh no.
Here we go. Okay, Creme's okay for now. He's got his flash again too. Tian is threatening. Pops out. You cannot back there. And so
you just have to be ominous.
Priority.
That's all you need to do.
Look,
just
here
be
we
ominous.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
The thing is, I feel like a player with the reputation of Tian, like, Creme has to know it can happen. It can happen. Oh my lord.
What
insult to injury.
It's such a nuisance. That's a free plate just to pop his head in and out, in and out. You know, I watched Finding Nemo.
I feel like this is the thing, is that, like, everyone knows it's not going to net a kill, and obviously the value is to stop the reset, but it's just so annoying. It's like, you know, when a jungler ganks you early and just, like, beats you up a bit and then leaves, and you're just like, great. That's the most frustrating thing. It's not even a real gank. You're just being annoying. You're just being a pest.
Yeah. I was going to say before, but it's like Finding Nemo. You know, you go out, then you go back in. Tian is here, and Creme with a package. Okay. He's just going to play his fool's game again as top esports set up for the second dragon. Like, with package, do you want to go in? Aux, the W with package. Is package unstoppable?
It is unstoppable, yeah.
Okay,
can't stop it.
Worth noting, okay. Because it would really suck as a mechanic. Because, dude, hang on a minute. It doesn't matter, though, because Vi can't hit Gwen in W with her ult, and that's unstoppable. So I don't know if I trust you anymore. I don't know if I trust you.
It's unstoppable, don't worry. Oh, there we go.
The target, but Mark comes through. Good package here as the encore as well, but Creme gets burnt out at the start of the fight, and JackeyLove's shield is massive. He flashes forward. Creme's just going to die on the back end, while Knight here has lost his jungler. The ulti to help out for the dragon, but it's OMG who pick it up, while Mark is licking Abel to death. Next up is Aki, and over the wall, that flesh about to become a prison, but unable to find the range. Top esports with more kills, but it is at least a dragon for OMG.
OMG could be happy that they got the dragon on the back of that one for sure, but yeah, the fight felt a bit rough. Initially, it looked like good package coming in, but summoners available. JackeyLove got him out of a tricky situation. They were able to reposition, and then JackeyLove just hunting down targets one by one. Gonna get some plate damage here as well. You gotta know, 0 plates taken on top esports side. Look at those 3 towers, 555, and a bunch taken in every lane. We'll get the replay, and I think you get to see evidence in front of your eyes, because I think Tian pops the W here, and yeah, he goes. I think he just clipped the steadfast presence from the Poppy and didn't obviously get interrupted. So
true.
Yeah, uninterrupted ult, but obviously not able to do enough to take out JackeyLove. And then JackeyLove with a great ult here, not to hit a target, but just for the shielding, the AoE shielding, very effective, because obviously so much wider than the damage.
I mean, him and Knight got a lot from that fight as well. Worth noting that a couple of kills now in the inventory. Or should I say on the scoreboard for top esports. And Aux a 2k gold lead, so losing the dragon but getting so much out of this fight. As we didn't get to talk too much about how comps come through. Like, I know OMG, there's poke, there's a lot of team fight potential as well. it feels like space is so easy to create. For Top Esports, remind me again where we're going with this, because they're the team with the gold lead. They're the team with control in this game.
So I had a bit of concern in how the composition would function in late stages. They still have a very good front to back, bear in mind. Like, the fact that they have these two very strong scaling carries with, I mean, such a bulky front line. Like, you have 3 super tanks on your team. If OMG fall behind, you know, JackeyLove can just step up freely and have these beefcakes run at you. The problem is there's going to come a point where, like, Corki becomes super strong, GP becomes super strong, Ezreal, Sraphine scale well. That's the point I'm concerned about. You know, if you start landing poke on the right members, it could be a problem. So Top Esports, you know, definitely strong scaling elements. I'm not a big fan of how the comp interacts in OMG. But for the time being, they have pressure. If they continue this, you know, if you're behind on damage and you're facing a Sejuani, a Poppy, and a Tahm, I mean, what are you supposed to do?
So many protective elements coming through. OMG setting a trap, though.
So much
Mark
beef.
almost walking into it. Yeah, huge amount. As Knight sets up for mid turret, this is going to go down, finally breaking open mid. It's going to be second turret for TES, and as you said, no platings, or plates, excuse me, were broken in the laning phase for OMG. 3 turrets standing in the outer rims for Top Esports. And so they still remain firmly in control in this map, as Mark and JackeyLove, you can see, always want to go for this engage. Cold with the direction change here is able to just poke them down. And Aux, we seem to be waiting for this second Herald to be started off, but Tian does it in the slyest manner off on that top side, while Top Esports continue to just scurry out vision that OMG try and place past river.
Yeah, and you can see, like, Mark is trying to find windows to punish. It's so hard, though. Like, everyone either has, like, mobility, a dash, or, like, speed. Oh, my God. We've had so many cheeky recall stuffs in this one. Honestly, Top Esports kind of vibing with it, but yeah. So just Top Esports need to keep securing these objectives, continue the momentum. I think it goes without saying, Ocean Soul is game winning for Top Esports. You have these tanks.
Hang on,
we'll hold that forward.
Yeah, you need to, because Creme's getting solo killed by a Sejuani.
Wow.
Wayward just smacked him with
Wayward?
the flail. Doesn't need it at this point. He's dropped it so many times. That was beautiful. And the power of Sejuani continues to rise through.
Yeah. Not the best from Creme. Ultimately, kind of got popped on that one. My point before I was saying is, like, if Ocean Soul is secured by Top Esports, this front line goes from hard to kill to immortal.
Okay. Well, dead.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah,
can't blame me on that one, Jake. I didn't have time.
That's all right, dude. I mean, Tian is just everywhere at this point. He's got a 10 CS lead, but the Herald in his back pocket is going to start breaching this inner, any of the inner turrets on the map. And what I'm more concerned about right now is that Gold's reached about 5k in the matter of minutes. Arky's jungle continues to get stolen away, as the small wolves won't be reset. Hex flash over the wall too. The threat just enough as he shoves the enemy jungler into the wall. The ulti too. Arky has to burn a flash, and Tian continues to be the alpha of this game. This Poppy pick, like game 1, is putting on a show.
Brule, honestly, at this point, really doing a lot of work just to make problems. You know, you're talking about swiftness boots. We have swiftness boots for JackeyLove and Mark as well. Obviously, Strada's Grudge going to be coming in at some point. A lot of slows from the Sraphine. But yeah, second dragon going to be secured by Top Esports. You can see objective bounties available for OMG as they're in that much of a deficit already. Wayward just going to piece it away. But yeah, Top Esports continue this momentum, really positive. Huge lead mid lane, and everyone else is feeling super comfortable. I feel like, you know, even if this is in slow-mo, it still feels too fast.
It is real fast. Well, Sraphine versus Viktor and a Poppy. There you go. Simple as that.
Yeah, a lot of Poppy there, but Seraphine's got popped.
Well, it's a 2-item Viktor. That's probably why. I mean, we've got Shadowflame picked up, so Knight is definitely in a commanding position, as Red Buff is given over to JackeyLove with no steal. This game firmly in the hands of Top Esports, and in this series, is going to say, as Knight actually gets locked down, the Encore flushed away from, but Knight still gets a return kill. The shielding massive too, as Wayward comes in with a massive ulti onto Arky. A couple more blows will do it with the Permafrost. Ignite down, autos through, healing ain't enough from the Sundra, and that's just Top Esports name written all over it. 3 people dead, Orcs, for Knight to be dove. As now mid lane turret as well. JackeyLove just need to take down mid, but it's a bit slow here as they're going to be chased up. Mark saves it here with the Devour. And Abel's damage is not enough at this point in the game. JackeyLove has the sustain, and Top Esports just keep breaking backs no matter where the camera pans.
I mean, the fact that they commit so many to take down Knight and trade so poorly, even with the shutdown just ends up not being worth. Yeah, Knight really just well played on this one, managing to buy so much time here and do so much damage. Shanji nearly just deletes him immediately. And sure, like the CC connects here, the flash means the Senna ult doesn't, and I'm able to laser the GP. Fantastic. Oh, you will have time for that.
Abel's dead as well. Yeah, Colt's died 3 times. We cannot go to replays anymore. Flash over as Wayward is playing Sejuani. Not Fiora, not Jax, not Camille. The solo kills are coming out left, right, and center from Wayward. And that's the second time that Creme has been bullied out in this situation.
They're just pushing up like onto the mid inhibitor, and there's nothing that OMG can do. We'll get a replay of what happened there. Oh yeah, the root connects, therefore you just die.
There's nothing else to say. Fair enough.
Nothing else
to add.
Now, oh my god, Shanji, he can just kill him.
Yeah, I'm wondering about damage coming through. Chaos Storm there, he pokes out the barrel, but half HP with the small combo here from the mid laner of top esports. A good return, I was going to say, Aux, because at the start of the series, it was close. It was a 46-minute game, back and forth, couple late-game team fights. Top esports since Game 2 have just been putting on a masterclass, and once again are crushing them as against the wall. Aki, welcome back. This is what he's been experiencing all game. Jungle diff from Tian. Beautiful setup from this Poppy.
I just feel like top esports are so good at finding pockets of vision and just making picks. Like I said, one of my concerns with this composition they had was the lack of reliable engage, right? It was really only the Sejuani, and it just hasn't mattered because they keep fishing for windows where they have a vision advantage and then just taking out whoever they see. Now, Cole dead.
Okay, well, again, I mean, what more do you say? JackeyLove picks
doesn't even burn ult. Wayward doesn't even burn his ultimate. Like, but they just literally, they will fish for windows where you don't have vision to spot and find opportunities to pick. It's really excellent play coming out from top esports. Like, I know a lot of people might watch this and think, oh my god, OMG are trolling. Why do they keep dying? Top esports are making this game so hard to play. They're not giving them room to breathe, to farm, to do anything.
As soon as they come out on the map, I mean, you can see top esports vision towards the enemy jungle, right? So deep in this blue side, on towards red side and the bottom side of the map, you can see a couple of control wards placed there, and all that OMG can get is one ward deep, one control ward towards red side. Package sits there staring us in the face because OMG haven't had a chance to use it. A minute coming up for Dragon, and top esports, their lead is item weight. Like, we're almost 3 items here for JackeyLove. Two items full here for the Tahm Kench. Wayward is solo killing Creme once again. The flail keeps coming out, and Creme lucky to survive without flash this time around, but he still gets low, and top esports are going to keep pushing in, and this is not going to stop. Nothing's going to change this game, Orcs. I'm not even going to ask you how OMG come back in because they're never going to get the room to breathe. It just feels pointless at this point. Unless you got something good for me.
I think the only way I really see it is, one, you need time. So if you can like steal a dragon, that would be...
He had package. Orcs, he had package. Now, the chase on Abel comes through.
Yeah, I was trying to set up... Just forget what I was talking about. Let's just take what's on the screen, what's happening now. They're trying to posture for this dragon. They know Ocean Soul will be damning, but top esports are ready to fight. Oh my god, Tian's angle.
That's so good. 3-man ulti as well. The keeper's verdict means that OMG won't move for a while. Tian absorbing the damage, but Mark saves his life as Aki has an angle of his own, but now he's turned on. He flashes over the wall, and it's looking close for OMG that are so far behind in the game. But considering that no one's died, it's going downhill from here. Shanji under turret against 5 different people. Top esports, 16-3. Here comes Tian onto the enemy jungle, but he gets out in the nick of time for once.
Yeah, manages to evade. Tian's looking but doesn't find him. And now they can secure that third dragon. Still not soul, but OMG just feels desperate right now. It's only a 10k gold deficit. They just don't have the damage. Like, you saw Aki was sitting on top of Knight, couldn't kill him. JackeyLove couldn't go down. And if you can't kill the squishies, how in the hell are you going to kill the tanks?
Sure.
Like, Creme just hit Wayward with a rocket. I didn't even see it do damage. It's like it didn't register. And we'll get a replay. So I want you to really like hone in on Knight in this one. Look at Aki on top of him. Full channel ultimate, Q, and then dives on him again. Another full channel ultimate. Well, not. I think he might have cancelled early, but like Knight still doesn't die. Like with the Wukong sitting on you, full duration, and he still lives. I think that kind of shows the state of the game.
I mean, look at Wayward diving turret. Turret ramps up. It's doing a lot of damage for someone that has 2.5 items. Wayward is 4-0-3. Like, this Sejuani's played so well. As top esports are preparing themselves for a Baron Orcs, or at least the pick in front. JackeyLove walks up. He has no Tahm Kench, so a good shutdown from OMG.
Oh, this is a window.
More. But Mark with the Devour. Knight's now here. Chaos Storm down, does a lot of zoning. Mid as it continues pushing in. OMG still took a lot of damage to get that pick.
The problem is, at this point in the game, tanks are still doing a good amount of damage, right? Like, you can't just ignore Wayward, Tian, and Mark. And Knight is still up. Look at that laser. But they have to flip this. They have to make this work.
Tian has an angle into the back of the fight, though, as the ult comes through. Encore is good, but a cannon barrage in front might be okay for OMG. Shanji taking Baron damage, and now it's flipping again. Ozaki jumps back on the mid laner of top esports, but Knight just blasts him. Ends his career, at least in this game. And top esports will take any fight you give him at this point in the game. A triple kill for Knight and a 21 kill TES at 25 minutes. This is a game about pride from now.
And I said, if one of the carries goes down for top esports, the pressure on the other carry might be too much. But Knight shrugs. He is not bothered. JackeyLove overstepping quite significantly and does get popped. But the problem is, in this follow-up fight, you know, they don't find anyone else. They start posturing for the Baron, and just so much damage starts to connect. Like, Knight walks up and chunks out Creme, and then this follow-up fight, like, you just see the W connects on a Creme. Really shouldn't be getting hit by that. Creme is now gone. Knight flashes out of the follow-up, and then he's just permanently lasering everyone.
And even when Arky goes in, it's the same story as the last fight. I mean, even Abel flashed over to try and kill Knight, and then deeply regrets it. So,
yep.
Yeah, Orcs, same situation we've been experiencing all game.
No, because before, there was at least some semblance of hope. True. And now, it's like a 12k goal lead with 2.5 minutes from Ocean Dragon. Look at Knight's items. He just popped a sorcery potion, by the way.
Oh,
he has 4 items: Rabadon, Shadow Flame, Ludens, and a 10-second magic. And he popped a potion of sorcery. Like, he will one-shot anyone who even, he's level 16. He will just one-shot anyone who comes near him. It's just not balanced.
I mean, it's stupid. It's 4 items here on a Viktor mid. And as you said, I'm looking forward to this one, because even JackeyLove now has the Watchful Wardstone. We've hit that point where a level 13 support hurts so much, and I know you're looking at Knight here because of the interaction.
I want to see the damage.
I mean, we're going to in a second. Abel has to dodge every single piece. As top esports with Baron want to end this series now. It was a valiant effort from OMG at the start, but this hasn't even been close to finish off. As Aki goes for the engage, the Encore is a 3-man, but JackeyLove's untouched while Knight is eaten up by Mark as he comes out of the shield. Knight's still yet to hit anyone, but we're still waiting for it. As on the back end of the fight, Aki split it off nicely, but top esports are making their escape. Now poking back here. Knight runs forward. Creme gets a Chaos Storm, the ultimate of a Dawning Shadow. And here we go again. Knight is huge, and Mark's looking for a tongue lash to make sure that Cold remembers this one. Chasing up, tongue lash there. Bit of a spectator bug, but as Knight steps onto the fountain, this one's going to sting OMG deep.
Yeah, don't even need to get the Ocean Soul. Knight just putting on a masterclass, showing you can't pick Corki into him. He will challenge you. He will shut you down. Tian as well. Great setup in this game, but...
Great ult.
Decimating them. Not even close. And they'll just be able to end this one. Game 1. OMG really challenged. It was a long one. They managed to find that comeback. Feels like this game 3, there just wasn't really a hope.
Even game 2, right? It was quick. It was fast. Maybe more competitive than the last one. But top esports still keep their win streak intact. 8-1 on the standings. Still one of the best teams in the league. And making short work of our mid-range OMG.
Yeah, and I mean... I feel like Tian is just really getting creative with how he plays out the jungle. I feel like the fact that we had the RNG series where 3 games in a row, they went for that early invade to set way behind. In this one, again, went Raptors straight to the enemy Gromp, forced Aki out, really put him behind. In a game where Aki, you know, if he'd been able to have an impact, we could have had a different story.